I sit on a board for an NGO which focuses on children with disabilities. I'm very passionate about bringing women back into workforce, women in sales, returning mothers. And this has just happened. It wasn't something I set out for, but as I have progressed my journey, I've realized that there are aspects of that, or how to be a great leader, or there are parts of the stories have started to unfold. And therefore, when I sit now to look at what I want to, put my voice behind, those are the causes. So inclusion, and the broader, inclusion, including this, making sure I can prioritize this day and be here. But those then became the themes I wanted to focus on. So it didn't begin initially, but things that drew me in, I was very mindful then to start doing a little bit more advocacy, a little bit more mindful conversation around it, and prioritizing that as a part of my daily agenda. When I post on LinkedIn, I'm very mindful about the brand I'm creating because of the topics I'm passionate about. So like you said, it begins with purpose. Mm-hmm. And I think that's exactly where it begins and where you have to prioritize.
I love that you brought up women, mothers, people coming back into the workforce. Here at Salesforce, we're really proud about our return to work programs here in the region, where we want to support women that may step away for family planning or elder care and be able to come back to work. So when you think about that, how has mentorship or sponsorship played a role in helping, in what you do and why you do it?
That's such a wonderful question. And I know we talk a lot about mentorship and sponsorship. And mentorship is, a mentor is someone who will talk to you, right? So, they'll give you advice and you have access to that person. But I think sponsorship is someone who will talk about you, right? And in an earlier panel, I know Arundhati ma'am was talking about focus on getting the job done. You go do the job and you'll get the attribution. Don't go after the attribution, right? And a lot of times I feel the people are, the number of people who say, hey, will you be my sponsor? Will you be my mentor? It's very difficult to claim a sponsor, right? Mm-hmm. It's easy to ask for mentors, but sponsors are people who are seeing you do the stuff when, do the right things when no one's watching, because those are the people who are going to be sponsoring you for conversations in rooms that you aren't even there, or in rooms you don't even know you're being spoken about. I've been very fortunate to have really good managers. I told you the story about my colleagues rallying up to take the job because I think they saw that I was not focused on the next. I've never asked for promotion in my career, and I think different problem, but it's always come because the sponsors were talking about the work I was so focused on doing and being the best at what I do, versus, okay, that's the next thing I want to do.
I'm going to add to this because I'm really passionate about this. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. Number one, don't approach your mentor all meek and mild. Maybe, kind of, sort of, if you have some time. You actually need to know what you want to learn or get out of from that mentor. Because how many people just approach you for mentorship? And frankly, we don't have the time. As women leaders, you do not have a lot of time. So I approached a gentleman and I asked him to be my mentor, and I sought him out. I said, show me a leader at this company who knows how to develop their talent, like develop and grow them and move into something. And someone identified the person. I sent him an email that said, would you spend 1 hour for a month for a quarter with me? And we can break those into 30-minute segments. And here's what I would like to learn from you. And of course, I sprinkled some flattery on it. I heard you're very good at XYZ, right? And very generously, I showed up for his EA, pre-scheduled all the appointments. Yes, of course I will, was his response. She pre-scheduled all the appointments. And when I showed up, I knew he was ready. He had a book for me. Go read this book. And he gave me homework. And then when I felt like I achieved what I needed to achieve, I sent him a thank you note. And then he kept meeting with me and I was like, oh, we're done. You're released, right? Because I wanted to be very purposeful in how I used his time and what I was asking him for, right? So just don't go up to them afterwards and say, will you be my mentor? You need to find a mentor that's going to teach you something you want to learn or be where you want to be.